Hello there, and welcome to our first interview in our Wellness Ambassadors at Work interview series, hosted by myself, Lisa Kelly of Kelly Wellness Consulting, Inc., and founder of the Workplace Wellness Ambassador Certification Programs. Today, it's an honor and a pleasure to interview Barbara Doan, one of our recently certified Workplace Wellness Ambassadors. Barbara was also a group project leader in our program, and she'll be sharing some of her experiences both as a participant in our program and also as a project group leader. So welcome, Barbara.
Oh, thank you, Lisa, for having me today.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. And so I just want to share a little bit about yourself, Barbara. You are a certified holistic health coach, a certified workplace wellness ambassador through our program recently. And as you indicated in your bio, you believe in what we call bio-individuality, meaning that there's no one way of eating that works for everyone. And you indicated your health coaching business is called Fulfilled Healthy Life, which focuses on both personal wellness and workplace wellness. And I think you indicated, and correct me here, or you can jump in and add to this, but your personal wellness focus really works on helping young athletes break free from struggles of negative body image. And you do that through your SHINE program?
Yes,
right.
Particularly with dancers, gymnasts, and figure skaters.
Excellent. And your workplace wellness focus is really focused, it's more on a niche market in the dental community, I understand, and it's to help both their patients and employees, which I thought was really interesting. Maybe just quickly talk about that for a second.
Sure. I was a dental hygienist for 17 years, and going through your program really helped me realize the need to have that workplace wellness. And having gone through the IIN program, I have such appreciation for whole body health. Mm-hmm. And really, I do feel that the health of our body starts in our mouth.
Right.
And so I could just really see a need to help not only the employees, but the patients as well.
Excellent. Well said. So let's move on now. And I just want to really talk about first some reasons or what prompted you or motivated or inspired you to attend our Certified Workplace Wellness Ambassador program, and how you felt that might support both your health coaching work and also your interest in moving into workplace wellness.
Well, like I just stated, I was with the dental community for 17 years, and having gone through the Institute for Integrative Nutrition,
right,
and gained that appreciation for whole body health. Mm-hmm. When I saw your program, I just saw it as a really great stepping stone to get back into the dental field, right. Because I did have some really great years there, but wanted to change my focus. And I just saw this as a great way to learn how I could help dental offices and their patients.
Excellent, excellent. So how then has our program, you attended our 8-week program and this past winter, and how did that program help prepare you for workplace wellness program delivery and coaching to employees within work sites?
Lisa's program was incredible. It really exceeded my expectations. I really had no clue of what went into creating a workplace wellness program. Mm-hmm. And what happens behind the scenes is absolutely incredible. And having the opportunity to do the group project, mm-hmm. I'm so glad we had that, because it really makes you think more about everything that needs to be taken care of within the program, from pre-evaluation to activities that are going to happen to the post-evaluation. And so you went above and beyond, giving us resources to use. And I wouldn't even know where to start had I not done your program.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that endorsement. And so you just alluded to some, but what other specific skills do you feel you developed through our program to support you both in your work in workplace wellness and also as you are a private health coach? Was there some takeaways from the program that can also support you in that work? And we're very upfront about that we know that there are health coaches, and we really we do encourage our health coaches in workplace wellness to also apply and use the program tools and resources where they see a fit for their private health coaching. So how do you see, what specific skills and how do you see everything you learn and gain from the program applying to both your workplace wellness work and your health coaching with clients, if you will?
Right. I think the biggest thing I took away was how important our listening skills are. In our, through our health coaching program, we know that we need to be very good listeners and really listen to what the client wants. And going through the Workplace Wellness Ambassador program, I learned again that you really need to listen to what the employers want.
Right.
Want to know what they want for their company as a whole and what the outcome is. So we may have ideas of what the company needs.
Right.
But it's the employer who we really have to listen to see what their needs are, as well as the needs of the employees, so that we can create a program that will meet the needs for everybody and just bring the company together. Excellent.
Well said. Very well said. I'm going to have to consider you for a trainer for our program. I can see that. And so moving on then, you may have already spoke to that, but just to elaborate, how do you see yourself involving then, all the materials, and particularly do you want to speak to what you gain from acquiring our campaign database, which, as you know, you received at the end of our program. And right now our campaign database has about 6 different wellness campaigns that our ambassadors can take and apply to their workplaces as internal ambassadors or with client employers as external ambassadors, consultants, if you will. So how do you feel, or how do you see yourself involving those resources, and particularly the campaigns and the work you do with your employer clients?
Sure. So I knew that we were going to receive campaigns from not only our group, but from previous groups. Mm-hmm. And when I saw the campaigns that were put together in our group, particularly the mindfulness group, I was blown away. And as soon as I started to see it be presented, the wheels just started spinning in my head and turning and knowing how I could use this. Excellent. The mindfulness and the kind of the stress mastery of it all, I think it is such a needed, especially in the dental community. Right. I mean, how many people do you know that are terrified to go to the dentist? That's and so I think helping the employees and the employer show their patients how they can become more relaxed in their, through their dental process. Right. I think that's going to be so huge. But then we got all the resources from the other group. And I was floored. I was absolutely blown away at the caliber of these presentations, and thinking what I know on what it took to go through to make the campaign that my group did. I knew it took a lot of work. And to think, now I have 6 campaigns that I can use right at my fingertips, and it will free up my time so that I can, put a different, my take on them and make it personal. It's just going to free up my time and allow me to make it mine and make it my company's. Yes, and that's a really good point, because as you know, and as we state in our promotional materials, the programs are completely brandable and customizable. So whether, again, you're an internal employee or ambassador and want to put your own logo on it from your wellness program, through to someone like yourself as an external ambassador, can brand, customize it, make it your own, and likely then no 2 campaigns will be completely alike, and not that that's a bad thing, but it just gives that flexibility to our ambassadors.
So let's move on now to your experience as a group leader in the development of your group certification project. And that being said, I'm going to share my screen. So just for our viewers, I'm just going into my desktop. And just in a second there, Barb, you can let me know if you see my screen.
Yes, I do. There, that's perfect.
Excellent. Excuse me. And so I will move around. We have little picture icons here, and I'll try and move it around where need be. And so, yeah, so this is your Take Your Health to New Heights logo and presentation introductory slide, if you will. So let's walk through the premise of your group's project as we review the selection of your slides. And these are just a very small sample of your slides from your complete presentation. And just for our viewers to know, when the groups prepare their projects as the second half of their program, then in the end, all the groups come together and online as we meet. And in our program, we meet through discussion groups through an e-learning platform, and also through Zoom, which we are using right now, to do webinar conferencing. And then in the end, our last webinar, I guess number 4, our groups come together, and as a group, they present their campaign projects. And it's been wildly successful, and I'm so pleased with the results and how it's been turning out so far in our programs. And each new program iteration, it just gets stronger and stronger. And so it's just been an amazing journey for both myself as a program developer and facilitator and coach, and also for our trainees. So Barbara, let's just go through your slides here now, or a selection of them. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I can get my little slides to advance here. There we go. Excuse me. So you can perhaps walk us through some of these slides and explain a little bit more about your project.
Sure. So as you said, the title of our campaign was Take Your Health to New Heights. And we had 3 different ways that people could track their points, mm-hmm. and help their team win the challenges. So we were tracking their steps taken, which everyone was given a pedometer. Mm-hmm. We had a lunch and learn, which focused on superfoods, and then everyone could then incorporate superfoods into their daily food intake. And we also wanted people to track their water intake.
Right. Okay.
So next slide. Mm-hmm. So really the goals were to get people to be more active throughout the day, mm-hmm. to have them incorporate the whole foods, specifically those superfoods, into their diet.
Right.
And the next slide. As I said, we also wanted them to track their water intake. And finally, our challenge was a team building challenge. So we decided to form the groups across departments instead of within departments.
Right.
And we felt that this would bring more cohesion within the company and make it stronger.
Excellent.
So the campaign was a month long. So it was a 4-week challenge, basically. The first week we introduced the challenge and, kind of gave an idea of what would be happening throughout the entire campaign. And the day after it started was when we were going to track their steps. In the second week, we had the superfood lunch and learn. Mm-hmm. So it was after that lunch and learn that they would start to track their superfoods. And each team was going to accumulate points. And if you want to move to the next slide, I believe that may have, we'll see it in a minute, actually. So each team had a mountain as their icon for their team. Mm-hmm. And as they accumulated points, their mountain would climb higher to the peak. And whichever team made it to the top of the mountain first was the team that won the challenge.
And I love your visual, because as you're saying that, we have this visual, this beautiful visual of the mountains, and living here in the Rocky region, both of us can really relate to that, because you're also in that vicinity. And and it just really brings you mindful of, the teams ascending and rising to the challenge. And I love, and I believe you were responsible for this logo and the development in your group. So, and you really didn't have a strong background in design, and yet again, you challenged yourself and you produced a beautiful logo. And
oh, thank you. I did it through Canva, and I will say it's an incredible program to use. Very user friendly, and it's really a lot of fun to play with.
Yeah. So it's really neat because our ambassadors gain so many other skill sets and just directly related to workplace wellness, and from, as we talk about in our literature, from communications, promotions, on through. So tell us a little bit about your kickoff event here.
Sure. So it was a company-wide meeting where the CEO was going to speak at the event, and we also decided to bring in a motivational speaker who had climbed several mountain peaks.
Right.
And we just thought, it's a team building event, and climbing mountains, really large mountains like Mount Everest, it's a team effort when you've got all the Sherpas and the guides and everything. And so we really wanted the perspective of someone who had done that to speak on what it takes to get to the top of a mountain. And as I said, there were, we had 100 people within the company, and we did anticipate that everyone would participate. So we broke everyone into teams of 20, so that we had five even teams. And as I said, just randomly selected across the different departments.
Right. And when I say, like, you haven't actually implemented this yet, when you say we, you sort of had a fictitious company in mind, and that helped you. And as I encourage all the groups to sort of have an avatar of some sort, that they can, a profile of a company and demographics, and that helps you frame out for this particular project, as you did, right?
Yes,
right.
That's correct.
Good. So tell us about your points tracking system.
Sure. So this very easy tracking system, simply you've got the days of the week, you've got the 4 different weeks, and then each of our different categories, your superfoods, your water, and your steps. It was really just easy. 8 ounces of water gave you 1 point, 10,000 steps gave you 5 points. So, you can see how when you're accumulating all the points within a team, you can really make some big advancements to the top of the mountain.
Right. And just to reiterate again, and I know you've said this already, but when I charged your group with a particular topic, you came up with the specifics, but I asked it to be a team building event that also addressed, obviously, health and wellness, a component, and you beautifully came up with this concept. And so for companies as well, as ambassadors, to really sell this to employers, it very much is a team building event. And as we well know, there's so much room for team building, growth and development in organizations, and also having an organizational development background and training development background myself in corporate. We did a lot in back in the day, and still do in team development. And so, as we like to say, this sort of kills 2 birds with 1 stone, in that you get to do team building work and create a healthy workplace and work culture, if you will. Great. Okay, let's move on. So yes, here's your climbing the mountain with points, I think, that you referred to earlier.
Yeah. So these were just the visuals, and each of the different icons is actually a movable icon. So as each team starts to accumulate points, their icon will get closer to the peak of the mountain.
Right. And just again, for those of our viewers who may not know this, and you probably wouldn't just looking at this slide, I think, the intent here was to take each little logo and even put like a sticky behind it, and the groups could move as they gained more points in their challenge. Is that the intent, I believe?
Yeah, I was, my thought was to have the actual whiteboard as a laminated board that would be in a common place, let's say in a staff lunchroom or something. And yes, like you said, and maybe it's on a magnet board, and so that there's little magnets behind the icons, and so then the group leaders can just move them up.
Yeah, and just to add, it's very interesting because my sister, they did this at their workplace, and had like a Mount Everest challenge, and she said it was really engaging and got the group engaged. And it was very interesting that your group came up with a very similar concept around the same time. I think she had shared with me, and so I thought that was really neat how you guys came up with a very similar concept, and very well done, I might add.
Thank you.
Yeah. So here's your poster.
Yeah, and this was just going to be something that, again, was in some common areas, in lunchrooms, in meeting rooms, that just got people excited about when the challenge was going to happen, and some real brief bullets on what the components of the campaign were going to be.
Right. And as you well know from the communications part of our program training, I always encourage you as ambassadors in your work, especially in campaigns, to carry your logo through all your materials, and you very nicely did that here. And that's really important in workplace wellness for your employees to be able to easily identify and recognize a particular campaign or theme that month. And that's the importance of having a really nice logo for a campaign. And so again, just for our viewers or anyone interested in doing our program, or wellness coordinators looking to do our program as well, the nice thing too about getting these campaigns is that, as I said, these are all customizable. And I ask that our ambassadors submit their work in, say, a Word or, a modifiable document, if you will. And so you can go in and change your dates or change anything in this poster, and with minimal work involved. And it's another poster I believe you have for your Lunch and Learn. Yes.
Yes, this was for our Superfood Lunch and Learn. And it was a really fun lunch and learn, actually. What we had is we'd have some before and after evaluation. So we could really learn what people knew about superfoods before, and then what their takeaway was at the end. And then during the lunch and learn, after we explained what the superfoods were, we actually had a Jeopardy challenge arranged.
Right.
So that was kind of a test to see what they learned within the presentation. And then finally, we ended it with a smoothie sample. So we had someone making smoothies and someone pouring it out just to ease up on the workload there. And that was something that people could take away from the lunch and learn. And it really showed them how easy it was to incorporate superfoods into something like a smoothie, which is a really great way to get a huge serving of superfoods into your day.
Oh, excellent. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, and then you had a superfood potluck challenge in week 3, I believe.
Yes, and this was really just to keep everybody engaged, because we found that with most campaigns, kind of about that 3rd week, people start to die off. So we thought having a potluck challenge would be really fun. And the team had to make 2 different dishes, and they could choose whether they wanted to do the appetizer, salads, main dish side, or a dessert.
Right.
And so each group made 2, and we bring it into the common room. And then the wellness committee was in charge of judging, and the judging was based on obviously taste, but how well they incorporated superfoods into the recipes. And then the nice thing was everybody was going to receive all the recipes that were used for the challenge, as well as recipes for smoothies that were used, so that they could have something to start with.
Right. And I love that. I love that recognition in your group and in this project of the fact that there is a bit of die-off, as with any kind of program, partway through, and you really need to keep it exciting, engaging for the employees. And I think this would be an excellent way to, and bring teams together as well. Excellent. And here's your challenge poster.
Yeah.
Very creative. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
And this is one of your handouts.
Yes, this was just about smoothies and kind of what goes into making a smoothie and why they are so great for us. Not only nutrition-wise, but time-wise. They're an excellent thing to add into your day.
Right. And then another infographic.
Handout of kind of the 10 most popular superfoods. There's certainly more, but we just decided to reduce it down and choose the ones that people are most familiar with and give them an explanation of the benefits that they have for our body.
Excellent. And here's your evaluation.
Yes, for our lunch and learn.
Okay. Your close event.
And our close event, again, we had the CEO speak at that event.
Mm-hmm.
And then the winning team was given a catered lunch,
Mm-hmm.
which we thought was really, really nice. And the CEO would attend that as well.
Right.
And then the other teams were going to be just given some fun medals for their participation in the campaign. So everybody was recognized for their participation.
Excellent.
And then we had a end of program survey. So we just wanted to cover everything, see what they learned about the superfoods, how they felt about the motivational speaker coming in, how they felt about the overall campaign, and, you know, the handouts they were given. So really try and get a good rounded idea of how they felt about the campaign.
Excellent. Great. Well, thank you so much. And Barb, that was amazing. And just as we end off, I had another question. We're just about to wrap up here. How have you been finding, as you know, and as we promote, and we do have an amazing Facebook support group for people after the program. And so I know you've been involved in our Facebook group. And how have you found that support so far in helping you and the interaction with her? And what's nice is all the graduates or ambassadors from all our programs come together and share resources and share any challenges. And how has that been for you so far?
You know, I think, again, over the top. I find when I go into the group, I learn so much from other ambassadors.
Right.
If I have a question or a concern about something, I know that I can post it there and I'll get lots of feedback or suggestions, and sometimes suggestions that I haven't even thought of, which I love, because sometimes it just creates a better outcome than what you'd planned.
Right. Well, thank you. And so if you're interested in, or would you like to speak to Barbara more about her campaign or what she's doing in her wellness practice as a health coach and or as a workplace wellness ambassador in workplace wellness consulting and coaching, her contact information is there at barbaradoan.com or by email at barbarajdone@gmail.com. So Barbara, I really want to thank you so much. It's been a delight having you join us for our first interview in our Wellness Ambassadors at Work interview series. And just to wrap up then, for anyone interested in learning more about our program, you can visit us at kellywc.com or certainly email us at info@kellywc.com. And for our viewers, our upcoming program in the fall begins October 12th. And we have a new program we're bringing in addition to our Certified Workplace Wellness Ambassador program. We have a new master level program, and you can see our two crests here on the left of the screen. So we're really excited to have these two new programs, or this new program being brought in. And in just probably in a few weeks, we will have a new brochure ready and a new website ready that if you're interested, you can look at and sign up for our upcoming program. So thank you again, Barbara, so much. And it's just been a joy and a pleasure to have you. And I'm sure I wish you so much success in your upcoming endeavors and your work. And I know you'll be wildly successful.
Oh,
and
thank you.
We also will be having future interviews. So certainly subscribe to our Kelly Wellness Consulting Inc. YouTube channel and be watching for our future Wellness Ambassadors at Work interviews. Thank you so much for joining. It's been a pleasure having you join us today. And we look forward to your participation in our future interview series. Thank you and have a great day.